The Hearing System Working Group. For over a year, the Hearing System Working Group has talked to children, young people and adults about Scotland's children's hearing system. They've talked to experts, to people who work in it, and to those who've experienced it themselves. Now they've made recommendations about what needs to change. What do they think a redesigned children's hearing system should look like? This is Isla's story. When Isla was 4, she moved in with a new family nearby who she really liked. Then, when she was 6, she moved back in with her mum. Her mum was unwell, and people were worried that they both might need some more help and support. So the reporter worked alongside Isla and her mum and the important people in their lives to understand a bit more about what had happened. The reporter decided Isla should be referred to a hearing. The reporter spoke to Isla and her family. They understood the reasons for the referral to the hearing. Before the hearing happened, Isla got a hello letter from the chair of the panel. The letter said Isla and her family could meet him before the hearing happens if she wants, and Isla did. She told him her favourite snack is cookies and that she'd like to come into the room with the chair before the other panel members arrive at the hearing. The chair explained how Isla would be able to share her thoughts at the hearing and what would happen. That means it wouldn't feel as scary. The chair was there again when it was time for the hearing, and it was nice to see a familiar face. He asked Isla where she'd like to sit, and then it began. The panel listened to the important people in Isla's life and asked her mum what she thought. The panel moved to another room while Isla and her mum had a break, and together they talked about everything that they had heard. When the panel made their decisions, they explained them in a way that Isla could understand, and the chair made sure that she really did. They decided that Isla's mum needs help and support, and that meant that Isla would need some for herself. To get this, she'd go back to the family she lived with when she was 4. Isla knew they would be happy to see her. She was sad to leave her mum again, but she knew she was being looked after. And she knew that if she needed to come back to the hearing, she'd have the same chair again. She wouldn't need to retell her story. He'd already know what was going on. Isla had the chance to see her mum regularly, and she especially liked it when they went to the park together to feed the ducks. Isla knew the chair was following up on the panel's decision to make sure the help and support she needed was in place. She knew he would do everything he could to make sure that she was getting what she needed. He'd speak to all the people helping Isla and her mum and make sure that everything was going well. The people who helped them worked closely together to make sure Isla and her mum got the help they needed to live together again when it was safe. So now, Isla's home and her mum's much better. There are people who visit who really help. Isla really likes that her social worker still comes to visit. She feels safe and happy and knows that there are always people to rely on if things get hard again. For the Hearing System Working Group, our recommendations are about making stories like Isla's real. Read them at www.thepromise.scot.